Chris Jericho and all the greatest. Your top 5 dead or alive, the broader stages like WrestleMania, all in and all out. NXT takeover, what the business about? Putting fans in the stands and the millions at home. Like The Rock versus Stone Cold, we're stealing the show. Wrestle Fandom Radio and Disruption Network with Dippin' Donuts. ICW, we make fanatics.
Hello and
Welcome.
You are watching Disruption Network, and this is Wrestle Fandom Radio, the greatest podcast you have never heard. That's right.
You heard. What's going on, Garrett? How are you now?
I'm doing all right. So I guess there's a lot going on, right?
Yeah, we just had nostalgia-filled. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something that would sound cool. But we just had NXT Takeover in your house. So that was dope. Yeah, we've got some people Twitter beefing because of NXT in your house. We can talk about that a little bit later. And yeah, it's wrestling. It's still a strange world, and it's still a strange wrestling world out there. You know, people are using full Nelsons for finishers. The greatest match ever didn't happen in New Japan Wrestling, and apparently it's going to happen this Sunday at Backlash. Up is down, down is up, left is right. Cats, dogs, drinking margaritas together on a glacier.
I mean, 2CW announced the show.
I know.
So everything's crazy right now.
It is. Like, actually, I watched Mr. Chris Lovin's Remembering 2CW last week because our mutual friend of the show, Justin, the camera guy, he was on the show, and I randomly discovered that somebody I went to college with, my pint-sized friend Sarah, is actually engaged to Justin. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, 6 degrees of separation and just crazy shit happening in the world, and babies being born today. Are we allowed to give shout outs on the show? Have we ever done that?
Yeah, we're allowed to give shout outs on it. It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
I would like to give a shout out to Alice Ira Pearson, who was born today. At some point, I think I was still asleep, but my roommates, Dwayne and Krista, had a beautiful baby girl named Alice, and
super cute.
Yep. And now we're gonna have 2 Geminis in the house. Watch out. Retrograde and something. I don't know. But yeah, it's cool.
I don't know how any of that works.
Neither do I. I have lots of friends that explain it to me, and I just find it fascinating that they find it fascinating. So no, that's a general compliment.
Yeah.
If it's something I know nothing about, and you feel so much passion to explain it to me, I'll probably be interested just because you're interested in it. If I give a shit about you, so yeah. I don't know how we went from welcoming a baby into this world to that, but whatever. That's neither here nor there.
And also a shout out to EJ Moving Company. Visit them at ejmoving.com.
Dude, are you?
I'm moving for you.
Are you sitting or standing up right now?
I'm sitting. I have the phone far back, and it's on the desk because I had to plug it in.
I thought you might have been standing because that was a perfect segue, bro.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about. Before we even get into any other results or anything that happened on, I'm trying to remember what happened on NXT, the show, last week, and before we even then had In Your House. And for some reason, it's all like skipping my mind. I don't know why. Like I looked it up earlier, I had it, and now it's all gone. I'm a terrible host. Whatever.
It's because this isn't an open book test, and we don't have our notes because we're using the cameras on our phones.
It's a good point.
And we're choking. We're like pre-Miami Heat, LeBron James choking. It's okay.
But I got sports telling me about there's a beef now going on. Apparently,
there's a little bit of a Twitter spat going on between one of my favorite wrestlers and yours, I'm a mark for Mr. Tommy Champs, Tommaso Ciampa, and
Yes.
him and Randall Keith Orton, Bob Orton Jr.'s boy is they've been going at it a little bit on Twitter after Randy Orton sent out a congratulations because about NXT in your house, and he made a reference to something that people have been pointing out in the no crowd era of wrestling, the leg slaps. Like, because I guess you're not supposed to slap your leg to make a kick sound more intense. I guess that's a new thing, and people haven't been doing it for years, so I don't really know what the beef is.
Okay, tell that to Shawn Michaels and have that go over.
Yeah.
He'll probably kick you right in your face.
Really, it's just Randy Orton, I think, because I think Randy Orton was more of a D-bag, like, proud. Like, we shouldn't judge people. We shouldn't judge people if we don't know, but when you put your public persona out there, you know what I mean? So, I always think that people can say that, Randy's just working all you marks. I'm like, no, I just really think he's an asshole. I really do. And
I really think he's just kind of being a dick.
Yeah, he ended up sincerely hashtag leg slaps and I don't know. He rubbed people the wrong way. One of them was Tommaso Ciampa, who responded back with, my daughter, because he's a newborn daddy. My daughter's been having trouble sleeping. So he found the perfect remedy for that because he played some old Randy Orton matches and it works better than NyQuil. Hashtag sincerely, and then it was hashtag a bunch of people who just busted their asses. So then Mr. Randall Keith Orton replied back and said something along the lines of offending the locker room leader of a wrestling school and to wake him up when leg slap class starts. So, like, he's just running this whole leg slap thing. Then it doesn't even stop there, because then Randy Orton's wife, I forget what her name is, she pops on there saying, is this the same guy that took credit? Is this the same guy that took credit for all of those quote-unquote great matches that he had no hand in making? And I've been watching, like, the news, wrestling news on YouTube, and nobody seems to be able to figure out what she's talking about.
Yeah, that doesn't even make any type of sense.
No, it doesn't. So, I get that it's Randy's wife, but at least makes sense when you try to insult somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, it's more of just a little beefy Twitter beef, but apparently Vince McMahon didn't like it either. Because Vince doesn't like people trying to book themselves some matches. He doesn't like it unless creative makes it.
Right.
So he is actually kind of upset slightly with Randall from what I've seen. So that's fun.
Yeah. It sounds like something that Randy Orton would start,
Yeah, which, I mean, I can't. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not a professional wrestler. You're not a professional wrestler. It's hard to critique people. Well, I mean, as fans of sports, they critique athletes all the time, and they've never played the sport. So, to me, Randy Orton, I mean, I could take him or leave him. He's great on the mic. He's great at being a jackass because apparently he's kind of won in life a little bit, but I'm not saying you have to do a Phoenix Splash or a freaking, standing shooting star press, but his matches are boring, and the only reason that people pop for him is because of the RKO.
Yeah.
And when he used to like a rope drape DDT. So. Oh yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler, but he's boring. So I don't know. Maybe he's got some inward jealousy of not being able to work that pace. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just some schmuck on a Zoom video.
Yeah. That's definitely, yeah. No, I definitely get your point. It's, what are you going to do? It is interesting to see, though, put people on different shows argue with each other. And I understand why Vince would be mad about it, You don't want people in your company arguing, or like you don't want someone drawing attention to something that maybe everyone is trying to end or no one cared about, or you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't want one of your biggest names to, you know, to point that out, you know, because now it's going to be a thing.
Vince doesn't want things to. Vince doesn't like it unless he creates it, or can take credit for creating it.
Right.
Hashtag AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, same thing just happened to Tamina, by the way. Who's meaner than Tamina? She's very active on Twitter and like on her social media in general, posting like vignettes like about talking to like a psychiatrist and stuff like that, kind of acting a little crazy. And she posted something, a video, I guess, about like being in a insane asylum and being crazy, like her own little vignette that she put together, I guess. And then it got removed for no reason. And I guess WWE called her and was like, yeah, take that down, or something like that. But she never takes anything down. So, and then it was only up for a couple hours. Like it was there and then gone. Like I didn't even see it. So WWE and Vince don't tend to like people. I mean, we can go back to Zack Ryder. You know, the first guy to really do it. Got himself over by himself. They don't like that. Same thing why we'll never see Brock. I mean, well, there's other reasons for these, I suppose, but like we'll probably never see Brock versus Riddle. We'll probably, I mean, more likely would be to see Goldberg versus Riddle, but I bet you we never see Goldberg versus Riddle. Which, would you really want to see Goldberg versus Riddle?
Right.
No, I don't. I wouldn't care to. So yeah, that's probably why.
I wouldn't care to, but it'd still be a little interesting to witness, you know.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it'd be big for Riddle.
Oh, it'd be huge for Riddle.
Either way, it'd be big for Riddle. So that's
speaking of Riddle. I mean, I know they're doing tapings, you know, in advance now. Like things get taped in advance because of the no fan era that we're living in.
Yeah.
But where's he going with that? Oh, how do you think Riddle's going to do? When do you think we're going to see Riddle here pop up on SmackDown?
I don't know, man,
they say it's imminent.
I'm really protective of my NXT people. You know,
oh yeah, I'm with it.
You know, I mean, as anyone who watches on here knows, it's like we focus on it a lot because you and I both feel that it's the best WWE brand, and obviously WWE is the biggest company. You know, and they've taken so many over the past few years, like people that shouldn't quite go yet, you know. And I
Evans.
I don't think that should be anything against Riddle's like ability. But I don't want it to sound like it's against his ability at all. It's just I just don't want him to leave because I think he could do more on NXT. You know what I mean? I think he could do fine on any of the three shows if they use him. You know what I mean? EC3 could have done great on any of the three shows. They just didn't use it.
Yeah, I don't know why they hated Ethan Carter the third so much.
And now he's gone.
Yeah,
he's literally gone. And it's like, you know, and I wasn't even super sold on him before when he came to NXT. I'm like, okay, I know this guy was in Impact. Let's see what he's about. He got himself over pretty much on the mic before he even got into the ring at first. And then when he was in the ring, he was doing great. And I was like, okay, I'm in. It's EC3, let's go. Let's see what's going on. And all of a sudden, boom, he's called up and he's gone. You know, and I hate to see that. I don't want that to happen to Riddle. I really don't want it to happen to Dijakovic. Even more than Riddle. Even more than Riddle, I don't want. And me personally, like I'd rather watch Dijakovic matches than Riddle matches. You know what I mean? And it's nothing against Riddle. It's nothing against him. You know, his style is different. But as somebody who comes from MMA, I think he sells better than most MMA people. and he does a nice. He's got his own.
That's definite.
He's got his own wrestling style now. So you know what I mean? So he doesn't look stiff. He doesn't look, like, oh man, this guy is still like full MMA. No, he's taken wrestling. He's taken pro wrestling and he's melded it perfect with his MMA DNA that you essentially like get. Like, what's her name? Doesn't even can't even do it. Ronda Rousey.
Ronda Rousey.
You know what I mean? Like Ronda Rousey's she's still all MMA. You know what I mean? And she's been training. I know she trained for wrestling for a long time. I don't know if she trained with Kurt all the time. They had videos together, but still, Riddle has his own. Riddle's really good. He'll do fine, but there's something about Dijakovic that even before they rebranded him as the beast that he is now, like that one of the only guys that can stand up to Keith Lee. I remember he was on one TV show and he lost, but he had a really good match. And I think that they saw that and then they pulled him off of TV and he came back like weeks later or a month or so, or whatever so later, and he was like, you could tell he had like a rebrand, and then he was like, squash, 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 good match, squash, before he got to like Keith Lee, where then it was like, the back and forth. And he is, I'm also interested in people who can do things where it looks like they can't do. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what him and Keith Lee's entire feud was based on. The fact that they're huge and doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing.
They can do backflips, and what's his name? Braun Strowman can do a kip up. You know what I mean? Like that guy is literally a monster of men, and he can do a kip up. And you got these guys. You got Keith Lee and Dijakovic doing Spanish flies to each other, and it's even smaller guys that can lift the bigger guys, and just anything like that. When you can do surprising things, that's you automatically catch my eye, and I become a fan. So I think Riddle already has more appeal and more star power than say Dijakovic does, and that's why I want Dijakovic going to Raw, because I feel like he's just going to get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. Well, he's one guy that I don't mind them, bringing in from NXT. See how I did that? I didn't say calling up. I said bringing in.
Bringing in, yeah.
Bringing that's in through the back door. Anyways, bringing in from NXT is I don't mind them. I don't mind them doing it to him because they're thin all around right now. And while Dijakovic is a bigger name in NXT, like I wouldn't say he's a main eventer in NXT. Mid-card, high mid-card. Mid-card, high mid-card.
I'd say
depending.
Mid-card. Definitely.
So I see why they're doing it because, it's not as much of a blow to the NXT roster. Taking Riddle goes hand in hand with you saying that, people know him more, which they do. Right. But to get back, so you think Riddle's debuting on this Friday or next Friday?
I don't know. I mean, if they're already doing the tapings ahead, like you were saying, that it may end up being next Friday, because maybe they'll give you like a couple week, cushion of like, okay, we haven't seen Riddle, and bam, he's on SmackDown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he'll fit in on SmackDown way more than he will on Raw, and I the rosters are very thin, so he could easily, if he can't get over in front of fake people, not fake people, but like a fake audience, that's the problem. But I think he'll do he'll do well with the crowd. He just will. He's gonna, as long as they keep him a fan favorite. If they make him a heel on SmackDown, that would I don't want to say they'll never do that, but I've seen I've seen them do really stupid things. I just think he could flourish on SmackDown.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't see him growing it up on Raw. Like, if you're going to take him and put him anywhere, just put him on SmackDown. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of a blow to the NXT roster. Because even more so than how it looked even like 2 years ago, when like Andrade and Aleister Black and Gargano and Ciampa. I think in a year, NXT roster is going to look vastly different.
Right.
I don't think you're going to have an Adam Cole, because while some people have said that he actually signed like a new contract, like a 3-year contract a while ago. I don't have a source for that. But as far from what everyone else is saying, supposedly his contract's up in August.
Okay.
And if his contract, I know we already did like, who would we want to see go where, blah, blah, or go to AEW or whatever. Adam Cole could go to AEW. He has the strongest ties, arguably, of anybody in like the WWE right now to go AEW.
That's true.
Because Matt, super close with the Bucks, and Britt Baker's his freaking girlfriend.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I really think that I think their roster is going to look inherently different in a year's time.
Okay. Obviously I want to get to the top 5 because we've definitely been talking about NXT, and our top 5 is an NXT top 5. But I have a discussion question. I want to pick your brain at, because you were just talking about Adam Cole and the re-sign or everything up in August.
Yeah.
Do you think Undisputed Era has run its course?
It's getting close. I think its course was to literally, not instantly, but take all the belts that was, the prophecy or whatever they were doing. Right. And I was cool with that. But I think it's getting pretty close. Do you think they'll continue the Undisputed? If Cole were to leave, do you think they would? Keep doing the Undisputed Era?
I don't know. I mean, they could, and it might not just be like as tight as everything else. You know what I mean? But it's kind of hard to say. I mean, it's like you know what's going on is even if in any wrestling show, in any wrestling company right now, you could essentially say that the lockdown, the quarantine, like killed a lot of heat that a lot of things had, much in the way that the writers strike killed the second season of Heroes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if anyone who's listening remembers the show Heroes, the first season is literally one of the best shows, the best season, especially the best opening season. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's the best first season of any show ever, period. First season. Because a lot of times people hit their stride later. Heroes, first season was its best. And season 2 started off strong. Writer's strike happened, killed it.
Yep.
It killed the entire momentum of the show.
Yep.
It couldn't regain its legs after that. There was a couple of good things, couldn't regain its legs.
Last season was dope, but...
and it's very much what is happening. Like it seems like it's like what's happening now. A lot of people, some people aren't even wrestling. You're not seeing some other people as much. Everything isn't. It's like, okay, well, we don't know what's going on. We kind of want to cool some things down, but we got to still keep momentum and everything. So it killed a lot of the heat, and I think they still had a lot of momentum, and that could be one of the reasons why it may just seem like maybe they've run their course. And
I would not disagree.
If they have, they don't necessarily wrestle together anymore, or they aren't, like, would there be infighting? Would Fish and O'Reilly still be a tag team? Would you end up seeing like Strong versus Cole, even if Strong loses? or would Roddy get a tag partner and then go after Fish and O'Reilly? Just what would happen? What could happen if anyone was to leave first? It's going to be Strong. It's going to be Strong on face. You know what I mean? And because if you were to let him, he could believably beat everyone everyone else in the UE. He could do it if you let him.
Yeah.
But
it would make sense too, because he was the last member to join. He was originally feuding with them with our boy Pete, and then he swerved them and he joined. So I mean, it would make sense. He's also the other singles wrestler, even though Kyle O'Reilly should be a singles wrestler.
He should be. And it's nothing against Fish either, because they're a good tag team.
I love Bobby. Bobby might be my favorite member of the Undisputed Era, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know what? When we did Mike Talkers, he actually should have been on my list. Because if any one of them is going to start talking crap, he's the one I'm most interested in what he's going to say. Because it's also how he says it. He's got a very old-timey look, and he can do this head turn and talk from the side type thing where he doesn't need to look directly at the camera like he is, but his face isn't aimed at the camera, but his eyes are. I don't know. It's watch the promos and watch how he does it, and it's interesting how he does it.
Yeah, one thing I definitely enjoy about NXT as compared to to Raw and SmackDown is that they actually, or if they didn't for a while, they're starting to let them do it again. Is look down the camera lens. You ever notice that? On Raw, SmackDown, Raw wrestlers never really look down the camera lens, because actually Drew McIntyre got asked about it after he won the title at WrestleMania this year, because he actually looked down the camera, and in the interview he said, we're asked not to do that, but since there's no fans there, that's why I did it, so that I could thank them. It was my way of basically thanking the fans.
Right.
So, yep. This is why we're nerds, Garrett, because we're talking about the slightest thing when it comes to how wrestlers communicate, and that's why we're nerds.
Yeah.
God bless our hearts. God bless our hearts. But I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly could definitely be a single star too. I wouldn't be surprised if, as I said, I personally, if my prophecy comes to fruition, NXT looks much differently. I could see Kyle O'Reilly in a year and a half time. If the UE broke up, it's gone away for good. I could see him being North American champ.
Oh, he should run with that for.
Because when I say it's going to look different, I think, and I'm sure a lot of people think this, I think Cole's keeping that belt until he loses it to Keith Lee.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's. I mean,
speaking of which, we don't necessarily need to jump into everything that happened in your house.
Oh yeah.
Keith Lee won, sure, because and everything, but
Johnny stabbed him in the eye with some keys.
Yeah, I really think that they should pull the trigger now about it, where Gargano, because I don't know, unless the reason that they had Cross destroy Ciampa is because he's going to go right for the North American Championship.
I can see that.
That's a possibility. Because if they want to make Cross look like a beast, then they could just have him all right, well, I'll do that, and then boom, as soon as he loses it, it's gone. They could do shenanigans with that, with what's her name, so that
Scarlett,
with Scarlett, thank you, so that Lee still looks strong, because he can come out and be like, you took my title, you did this, but you know what? I've had that title, and you know what? It's done. Now I'm coming for, and it's like, oh crap, he's gonna be champ. You know what I mean? So, they could do that between this and the next whatever.
Takeover.
A takeover next in your house, or I don't know.
I think the In Your House moniker might have been a one-time dealie. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I haven't read up on it. Going back to work and all that stuff.
I kind of hope they just do it like yearly.
That'd be cool. I'd be cool with that.
Yeah.
Because takeover is kind of their thing. I don't know. But anyways, by the next at the next takeover, you're saying have Cross win the North American, or
no?
Tommy or Gargano.
No, have Cross win it between. Have him win it just
on
the shows, and then at the next takeover, then have what's his name? Then have Keith Lee win the title there. Is what I think could and should happen.
I think they're definitely just going to push Karrion Kross as a that he's going to be around for a while, I think, unless Vince sees him and gets super horny, which could always happen. He does, man. He's going to see that dude and be like, how much money we spending on that entrance there, Paul? Triple H going to be like, gulp. And be like, well, gotta make it look like a big deal. Well, there's a big deal, Paul. Let's call him up to SmackDown. I can just see it happening. Dude, yeah. Trips has been waiting. He's wanted this dude. So he's going to get pushed to the moon. Another thing I like about NXT is you see all these people come to NXT and then, come and go. They don't always get a title. Like Riddle got the tag titles. Didn't get the big one. Dijakovic looks like he's, he could have been a future NXT World Champ. No, didn't need it. Trying to think of some other people off the top of my head. Tyler Breeze didn't win did? Oh God. Was Tyler Breeze jobbed out so much when they called him up to what was then known as the main roster that I forgot he had an actual NXT title run? I think oh my God. I'm just going to get out of this before I get butchered in the comments section. But you know what I mean? They don't always get a world title match. They always get the world title. Hell, Dream might not even get it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't. We had this discussion last week. I don't think he should. At least not yet. He's got a ways.
Yeah.
He's got a ways.
But speaking of Cross, he definitely, he butchered the shit out of my boy.
Yeah.
Which I said was going to happen, too. I'm like, he's probably going to murder him. And then he got murdered.
It happens, but like we just said, we all know he's getting a push.
Mm-hmm. That's why I think that's why I don't think they'll put the world title on him all that quickly. I think they'll put I could see them putting the North American title on him really quickly.
Right.
So, I don't know. Yeah, because I could also, if we're going to talk about being realistic, he could realistically beat Keith Lee, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and he's a heel, so he's got the alignment and yada, yada, yada. So it could totally happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I think someone's ringing my doorbell, and that's not a good thing. Because I am here alone on a podcast, and I can't move this camera.
So with that, I think we should definitely jump into our top 5 for this week.
I agree. Doorbell or not, I think we should jump into our top
5. So this week's top 5, so we had the idea of veterans or just people from Raw or SmackDown that could come to NXT or come back to NXT if they were already there and tag with someone who is currently there and make an awesome tag team and breathe some more life into the tag division, which used to be friggin' amazing and is right now just it looks like the tag wrestling on Raw or SmackDown. It's like, yeah, it's there, but who cares,
Plus, it allows us to fanboy some more.
Yeah, it used to be super awesome and super amazing. So for number 5, I actually would like Corbin to come back and get out of the, suit wearing type stuff, but not totally go back to the lone wolf stuff, but kind of like the same clothes. And I want him to tag with Priest.
Okay.
Because I think that those two could crush, especially together.
Yeah, I'd actually just go for the lone wolf and Priest together. That would be kind of, they're similar characters too, or the lone wolf character is similar to the Archer Infamy a little bit. Yeah. I didn't think I'd like it. I thought it would get a this, but I'm gonna give it a this.
The longer you thought about it, the more it got a thumbs up.
Yeah. Even kind of like a bit, like, on Facebook Messenger, how you do like the thumb up, that stupid blue freaking thumb, and like if you just hit it, it's like wee. But then if you like hold it, it's like moo.
Yeah.
I had to center my thumb there.
So like that,
I'm totally not doing this on the fly. My number 5. Okay. If we're gonna say tag team, like tag team wrestling was great in NXT for a long time. One of the greatest NXT tag teams, definitely not doing this on the fly, was American Alpha. Someone that is insanely, criminally underused right now. I'm not calling him Shorty G, Chad Gable.
I refuse to call him that.
Should go back and okay, I'm going to set it up for you. We can finally travel again. There's fans. Imperium is in the ring taunting their NXT tag titles. Pete Dunne comes out. Big pop. Because Pete Dunne wants his tag team titles back. Imperium laughs at Pete and said, "Nobody likes you. You're not friends with anybody. The only friend you had, you could barely stand, and he's off on SmackDown now. Who's going to help you now?" And then Chad Gable comes out, and him and Pete Dunne whip the shit out of Imperium and take tag team titles.
Yeah, they'd eat them alive.
Yeah, because Pete Dunne, while not being like...
Imperium.
Oh, I know. I love Imperium, dude. Pete Dunne isn't like... I mean, they refer to catch wrestling a lot. I mean, that's the new thing to do, I guess, to refer to everybody as portrayer of catch wrestling. But anyways, he actually is, okay? So he's not like the Olympic style, but there's still that similarity where, I mean, even though they're kind of killing Chad Gable right now, when he's actually on TV, with that whole Shorty G thing, they could easily adapt him to have more of that, like they did with Kurt Angle, when Kurt Angle was a goof and then he got super serious.
Yeah.
They could do the same thing with Chad Gable. Put Chad and freaking Pete Dunne together, it'd be a great team. At least absolutely. I think so. If I may.
I agree.
Yep. I'm just, okay. Had to massage my chest for a second.
I agree. So then number 4, actually somebody who recently came back to NXT, and then someone that is normally NXT UK wrestler. I would really like to see Jordan Devlin and Finn Balor wrestle together. They train together. They wrestle against each other. Yes, they look similar. Yes, they have a similar style. But because of that, you could probably get a lot done as a tag team with the two of them. And I think that would be profitable.
Yep. And Finn.
They could also, in my opinion, that would be the first team to, if I was going to like cross market and put more attention on UK, which again, I wish I could watch that every week too, but it unfortunately, like, it's only on the network, which kills me.
Bud, my network ran out.
And so, because I'd love to watch it, and I really like NXT UK. It would be very smart, in my opinion, to have them hold both titles, the American NXT and the NXT UK. They'd be double tag champs. And you could do that. No. Oh. No, Devlin and Balor.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
So like you could pull that off with them, easy. You know, so that could work. That could be them.
Yep.
You
And
get another one?
Finn did train Devlin too. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
they
what I'm
kind of
saying.
look. If you really think about it, they kind of look eerily like
They look like
siblings.
brothers.
Yeah. Huh. Mhm. No, because I totally had this written out, so I'll totally get to this number 4 choice right away. See, I was actually thinking of one, and then you distracted me with just how good yours are. That yeah. We'll blame it on that. Okay, let's see. Let me think. I'm going through like all rosters in my head right now, and it's hard because there's certain wrestlers that haven't been there. That's gonna
Right.
drive me nuts. Do you have a fourth one, or I'm sorry? Do you have another one?
I got all 5, man.
All right, why don't you bang that out while I think, and I'll
could
listen.
do. So I know that Breeze and Fandango together. They're a good and entertaining tag team, and they're yes, a lot of times they're underutilized as wrestlers because they're far better wrestlers than people usually give them credit for. But considering you want if you wanted to let him tag with someone, you want a veteran that's like really good, but then also has the same type of charisma, the same style. I would put Tyler Breeze with the Velveteen Dream together. And they could just be perfect. I mean, Breeze comes out, he's got the selfie stick, he's like taking pictures, but then Dream's behind him doing poses, and they would just do stuff. They could just do stuff like that all day, and and then there's Breeze to make Dream look even better in the ring than he makes himself look. So
I've got one, but it's cheating.
it's possible. So all right, what is it?
All right, it's super cheating. It's still a WWE character though. Okay. So you know that I'm super up, like I'm starting, like I wasn't sure when I first saw him like months ago, but now I'm like, I think I like this dude, Dexter Loomis.
Right.
All right. And I'm sure people have thought this. I'm sure it's on like WWE 2K19 because 2K20 sucks. I'm sure somebody made some creative wrestlers and has probably done this. Probably not the most original idea I've ever had. But even though the man's in AEW now, the character Goldust is still WWE ownership. So I'm not saying do a fake Goldust, but it would have been cool to see Goldust and Dexter Loomis interact with one another.
Right.
We'll leave it at that. So sorry I cheated, but my bad.
It's all right.
I'm not talking wacky, Booker T Goldust or any of that. I'm talking old Goldust when he first came out and had Terry, when he was causing a lot of controversy and making people feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I think that was the point.
Yeah, it totally was the point.
So then this is the one that we mentioned last week. I just want to bring it up again. But my number 2 would definitely be Cesaro and Thatcher. Those two together, I mean, yes, they have similar styles, but a lot of times when guys do have, just enough similarity, it can end up being really good. And I think those two, guys, they're those big, pound for pound type guys. And I don't know, I think they could do really good together. So that would definitely be a number 2 for me.
All right. Let me see here. Okay. So, because they underutilize these titles, you could probably understand where I'm going with this. And because I have made mention, and when I did I had like these choices for like the top 5 women wrestlers going to AEW, I had that top 5 all done. So just even though she would go back to NXT and just destroy everybody and probably win the NXT Women's Championship for a third time, I am just going to say I would like to see Shayna Baszler go back to NXT. And I really don't give a shit who she teams with. Any female wrestler. And then they just win the WWE Women's Tag Team titles and go places. I mean, I would say stylistically, stylistically would have to be Ronda. So if this happened like a year, if we were doing this topic a year ago, I'd say I want to see Ronda go to NXT and team up with Shayna. But who could Shayna team up with? What do you think she would fit with? That's another one. And it's so dumb that I can't think of this. Like, because they just have an embarrassment of riches when it comes to their women's roster in NXT.
Right.
But I'm just kind of cheating and said I don't care. I just wanted to go back to NXT.
I mean, if Yim
I'm super cheating.
Did a heel turn, you know, Yim isn't exactly like 100% like face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah, she is.
But she's still like she's a face, but she's not like gleaning. Super. She's. I really like Yim actually, but if they did a heel turn at like the right time with her,
I got it.
She could definitely be good as anyone, really as anyone's partner. I think she'd be a fantastic tag team partner.
Shayna and oh my god, I just blanked again. Damn it, Mercedes. She's hardly on NXT TV. She's kind of badass chick. She's a little bit older. I don't know. Anybody. I don't care. Put her with Charlie. Bring Shayna Baszler and Charlie Caruso down to NXT and just so I can have Shayna back in NXT. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Just want her back in NXT.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you finish your top 5 because I'm failing at this on the fly thing.
It's all right. So yes, to give a little more, obviously most of
this was your plan, wasn't it? You wanted to see me stumble. On your plan all week.
I wanted to nuke you on a top 5 finally.
Yeah, you did. Congrats.
If it would be nice to see Strong in a tag team where he is, in the tag team, not like he's filling in for Fish or like him and Cole are going up against somebody or anything like that. Like he finally makes a tag team. He's got a tag team. I'd really love to see Rude come back. So Rude and Strong.
Yeah, Rude's someone that should go back. And you're saying Rude and Strong?
Rude and Strong.
And
Rude and Strong all day. That's my number 1 pick. That's my top 5.
And make Rude the pompous asshole millionaire again, like he was in TNA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know. I haven't been following NWA as closely as I should. I don't know what James Storm is doing, but I would kill to see Bear Money get it.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. If it was, I don't care, dude. If it was WrestleMania, and there was like a surprise, like how the Hardys came back a couple years ago, WrestleMania won the tag titles, the Raw tag team titles at WrestleMania when they were the surprise entry. It was like 2 years ago, Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay. If there was a surprise tag team at WrestleMania, like in a couple years, I don't even care. People can debate this with me all they want. If the surprise tag team was going to come out and you just all of a sudden heard, beer, money, half that arena, it'd be like all dudes our age. But that arena, that'd be the biggest middle-aged white male pop you've ever heard.
Lose. Like it couldn't even be like that. It could be new music and like Rude.
As long as you let them say beer money.
And then Rude could just come out, and then Storm could just come out after him and just hold up a beer, and everyone would go beer, and then money. It'd be awesome.
Man, they were such a good tag team. I want to do another tag team list.
We could. You can do a tag team about anything.
Yeah, no, they're so good. Like if you're watching, and I don't know who watches. I don't know your age range, but if you never watched, TNA, go watch just some Beer Money stuff. They were great. They were so over.
Super over.
Yeah, they're supposed to be heels, but there's that old thing. It was that tale as old as time. Happens to everybody. That's great. Like they're heels, but they were so goddamn enjoyable that they just became faces naturally. Something that WWE is kind of foreign to a lot of the times. Like they don't like to go with organic fan appreciation of a wrestler, which I understand and don't understand at the same time. But yeah, anyways, go watch some Beer Money matches. They're great.
But all right, yeah, that's today's show. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, if you feel like you need to be moving some stuff around, call EJ Moving Company. Visit them at ejmoving.com. And yeah, join us next week. Check out all the other shows on Disruption Network. And watch come back. Again, with everything going on, we happen to not see your comments because I am not smart enough to remember to get a second thing here so I can see it. And that's my bad. So a lot of times when I rewatch the show, I go back in and, say hi to whoever or whatever they say. I do it then. But your comments are still appreciated. We love everybody and all that good stuff.
I forgot something, man.
What's up?
I think it's about, we keep putting it off. We ever sign out? Do we have a sign off yet?
No,
keep putting it off.
It's fine. We'll do it. We'll do it next week.
All right.
See ya. Have a good night.